Ukraine, a peaceful country in the center of Europe, the homeland of hard-working and kind people. Our homeland, the life of Ukrainians was different. We created, rested, loved, argued, and even had different views on the future. Because that is a normal life. It was like that until February 23, 2022. I have decided on a special military operation. On February 24, 22, Ukrainians woke up to a different reality. I have no words. The bloody invasion of Russian aggression has cast us away from peacetime, and all of us residents of Ukraine found ourselves at war. Some went to defend the country from the invaders. Some were forced to change their place of residence. All of us suffered losses. The war left scars on all of us. The Kharkiv Press Club began creating documentary videos in Ukrainian and English. These videos will document the crimes of the Russian occupation army in the Kharkiv region.
We will create 60 films. Each of these films is a story. The story is about a person, an institution, and an event. These stories will show the consequences of the war and the scars of the war in our Kharkiv region. Every event that happens in life leaves some kind of scar on our fates, views, and actions. The war that is going on today in the country and our region cannot but affect each of us.
In order to combine all the films into a common series, a visual concept of the project was developed. It was given the common name of Sleety, Scars.
I was approached with an interesting proposal to take part in a project, as yet untitled. The project will tell about the scars left by the Russian occupation troops on the territory of Kharkiv region. While working on the project, I wanted to get away from such a very trivial visual image. My job in this project is to direct the production. I throw a pre-production meeting with the crew. We discuss together what exactly the crew is going to shoot. If there is a story, how to shoot it properly and interestingly. In each story, we want to show a detail that symbolizes and visualizes the image of the scar that the event left on the person who took part in it.
In order to shoot video stories that testify to the terrible consequences of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, our film crews asked residents of the city and region to share their memories and feelings about the events they experienced.
These are the motenka, our left. And these are our brush holders. We colored them and they were beautiful. They were on the tables, but now they are gone.
До сих пір все, що робить Росія на нашій планеті.
Up until now, everything Russia does on our planet has gone unpunished. I was in Syria with the artists, and so the war in Syria was really hard for me because my friends died there. And the world was silent. Georgia was bombed by the Russians, and the world was silent. The same goes for the terrible Chechen war, and then the apocalypse happened in Ukraine.
We were under fire all the time, in the morning, at lunch, in the evening. There were no holidays, no weekends, it was every day.
I really hope that our work will not be in vain. This is a story that we will pass on to our progeny.
These are the scars left by Russian soldiers. Now we don't have a wonderful art studio, which we were proud of, which was a joy for our children.
My friend who lives abroad in America directly wrote such a post that she and many people around her know nothing at all about the war in Ukraine, even though the war is going on in the middle of Europe. You get there and are horrified by what you see.
The inscription that was hanging here, let's fix it here. This is the main entrance to our consulate.
Було дуже гучно, дуже страшно.
It was very loud, very scary, and we barely managed to jump out of the door.
And by the way, the trajectory is very interesting. The guidance was very accurate. Right above the office. That's where the office is. It fell right above the office. They knew that the partitions were wooden. Everything was on fire for 7 days.
This war has clearly shown that there are no moral laws for the Russian Federation.
I think that the destruction of our consulate will form the basis of this precedent. This is a demonstrative fact of how Russia ignores international law.
May it be my small contribution to making sure that as many people as possible know about the war, because even in Ukraine, people are beginning to forget about the war, let alone abroad.
The project is international. It is very important for foreign countries. Why? Because there, abroad, Russian propaganda also works very hard. This project on the territory of even the Kharkiv region, given that there are many episodes, shows that this is a system, that there are no accidents in the war, like shooting Busha or Borodyanka. This is a systematic destruction of Ukraine, because it is these fragments that demonstrate how much tragedy is personal and how much destruction is terrible. This is the systemic destruction of Ukraine, and if we show our films abroad, I hope that citizens of other countries and the leadership of other countries will see that this is a war of Ukraine's destruction.
This is Maxim. He is 11 years old. He's an adult now. He loved his father very much, so he misses him now. As a result, the child starts to withdraw into himself, and it's very scary. That smell of death got to my soul. That smell is with me everywhere. We now live in another apartment, and I can smell this horrible smell. This is the mark of the war.
Recording the memories of Kharkiv residents who witnessed the terrible incidents is just one of the missions of the Sleety Scars project. Our journalists will also try to help with the search for missing people who were victims of the hostilities in the region.
We can do a good thing. A good thing for us is to create stories. Stories about those Ukrainians who suffered as a result of the war. We want the whole world to know about it. We want Ukraine to know about it, that it would never be forgotten. And we want those stories to be seen by the judges who would investigate the Russian propaganda crimes. We want the scars they left to be researched by criminologists and judged by society all over the world.
In spite of everything, life goes on. Wounds heal, and the terrible consequences of this war have to remain forever in the memory of future generations.